we need to put on some particular gaps in between these particular blocks over here. You see, it's too clumsy. So that is why we need to separate it more from each other. We need to make those spacings a little bit of larger such that they look well into our project. So in that particular case, all we can do, we can get back to our project, and here in the second case, we may say that the margin top, it should be 2 rem for say. Press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload and see what is the change. So we can see that the margin is now 2 rem and the blocks are a little bit of what should I say, the margin top is now increased. Everyone is now looking good into their positions. Still, if we wish to see that everything is proper into their position, all we need to do, we need to put this particular border bottom of 1 pix solid. The color should be this one. Press Ctrl S, get back to your project, reload, and this will be the result. In the second case, all we can do, we can create a little bit of padding into it. You know, it looks a little bit of clumsy still if we provide this particular border bottom thing. So in that case, we could have mentioned here this padding bottom 1 rem, and in that particular case, we may make use of this particular thing of box sizing, which is border box. Press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload, and you can see that this will be the result. Everything is fine in its order. Now that we are now assured of the blocks, those we have created, its layout, its orientation, and everything related to them. So that is why I guess that we do not need any kind of border bottom properties right over here. So in that particular case, all you can do, you may discard this particular border bottom over here. There it goes. Come back and reload, and you can see that this will be the result. So this is how you can make changes of it. You can make all those properties device specific. And let's check on for 640 pix, what will be the result? This will be the result. Now this is another problem that you are going to face. What is practically going on over here? You can see that each and all these contents, those are practically a kind of right shifted. Everything is now laying out themselves into the extreme right position. So what is the problem which is going on? Press F12 again, open up this code inspector, click on this particular icon class, and you may click over here this div class column 3, and once you click over here in this extreme right panel where the styles, these associated styles been provided, you may look through it and you can see that there goes the problem. The width is set to 25% for each call element or the column element under a particular row. So if we uncheck this box, we can see that everything comes right back into this order. So in the next case, all we need to do, we need to copy this thing from here. First of all, copy this class name, close the code inspector panel, get back to your project, and in the very first case, we need to define the exact same thing as we have defined over here, this block wrapper element. Put this block wrapper element over here, and now you can see we are wanting to put some properties against the column element, the medium device displayed column element, which lies under any row, and the entire row and this column classes which lies in return to this particular block wrapper part. They will be having no property, no style changes practically in the larger desktop preview. But in case of this 768 pix device condition, all it is going to do, it is going to occupy the whole device width to put those contents into a vertical manner. So in that particular case, all we need to do, we need to copy this class from here. We need to paste them here, and we need to specify the width to 100%. There it goes. So let's get back to our project and reload, and we can see that everything is back into their position. All of them are now centrally aligned. There's absolutely no problem with it. If we turn on this border bottom property right over here, press Ctrl S and reload, and you can see that this is the border bottom property, and it is suggesting that the block is now 100% width. So everything is right into order. Put here 768 pixels. Everything is in position, but instead of 768, if we now put here 769, and you can see that the original layout, this horizontal display, it is now turned back into position. It is now right back into its proper position. Every contents, those contents are practically horizontally aligned. As we have crossed the 768 pixels threshold value that we have provided so far into our project. So everything is right now working properly. Change it to 320 pixels. This will be the result. Change it to 480 pixels. This will be the result. Change it to 640 pixels. This will be the result. 750 pixels. This will be the result. But beyond 768 pixels, up to the 768 pixels, everything is right back into its position. Everything is centrally aligned into a block view, into a block display. But beyond that, you may see that the horizontal display is back into its position. So we have successfully made our contents a device specific. We have put them into a device specification. We have defined that this marginal value will be observed, these style properties will be observed in case of some particular device display width, and the threshold value will be up to this. But beyond that, everything will be turning back into its normalcy, and everything will be getting back to normal again. So this is the thing that we need to know from this tutorial, and this is the whole customization of icons that we intend to speak about, that we need to learn about. If you do not know how to customize your project, if you do not know how to customize your template, then it will be a little bit problematic for you, because in each cases you just cannot buy things and use into your project, or simply you cannot use every templates those have been defined, those have been delivered to you. So in case if you wish to make your own template, and if you wish to customize your own template, then you must need to know about customization techniques, those ins and outs, and that is why this whole tutorial series is very important, as it is defining everything about the customization. If you guys have liked this tutorial, then do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button down below. Hope to see you guys into our next tutorial. Till then, bye.